Lionel? You promised us a ride.
She said she'd be here. Funny, she's never been late before.
You wasted your time then, didn't you?
I did not. I did it because...
I got a fresh ass.
Everybody, it is 6 o'clock p.m. in colored people's time, and welcome once again to the evening run. And it is me, it's the VINCE, and I hope everybody's doing all right tonight, or in this case this evening, folks. I am just waiting for my coffee to get finished. I got a little whiskey and a little bit of creamer. And I got my water cup given to me by my good friend Pugman. Y'all be sure to thank Pugman. And of course I got a half of a Gurkha Black Ops, which we will be smoking as soon as we're done. What type of watch is this? This is a Casio World Time. This is my beater watch from now on. So yeah, I was and I mean, you get good value from it there, folks. I mean, I was all impressed about wearing fancy watches and stuff, but, you know, and I still wear my fancy watches when I go out, but there's just something about a Casio, folks. There's just something about this one here. It's sort of cool, you know? That's the best way I can describe it. It's just, it's something that's cool. I just got the black 80s chronograph Iceman and Maverick worn it. Oh, okay. So you're going for the movie production stuff. I got you. Now, folks, before we begin, I have to give you guys a word of caution, folks. Some people F around, F-A-F-O, basically.
Bizarre and tragic situation in the metro. A man accused of flirting with another man's wife is dead after a fight broke out.
News 4's Paisley Porter spoke with Oklahoma City police and has the latest on this.
I'm standing in the parking lot where police say jealousy turned deadly when a man shot someone for flirting with his wife in this sports bar behind me.
Police responded to a shooting call. The incident...
Folks, like I said before, you can get killed over anything these days. You just never know what's in someone's mind there. So anyone that thinks they've made poor decisions in their life, if you're still alive, you've made at least enough decisions to stay alive.
Took place in the 6100 block of North Santa Fe. There was an argument there between two people, ultimately escalated to gunfire. One person shot the other.
It happened Thursday. Court documents say the wife of the man shot and killed was on Facebook Live when Barry Russell Jr. came up to her.
Well, what do you know? It's the usual suspects. Yeah, this guy looks like he's going to get a degree from Harvard, doesn't he, folks?
When Barry Russell Jr. came up to her and started talking in her ear because of the loud music inside of Sunny B's sports bar. Myron Cooper saw the interaction, became angry.
I'm telling you, niggas is fucking up the black community. You know, it's always those people. It's always the niggers that always screw things up.
And walked up to Russell in the parking lot. The confrontation quickly turned violent as the two began punching each other. The fight soon broken up. Russell told police that he then went back into the bar to wait until Cooper left. While in there, he asked his wife to bring him a gun.
He does have that Sean G look, doesn't he?
For self-defense. When Russell thought Cooper had left, he walked to his car when Cooper pulled up beside him. Russell told police he tried to run inside, but Cooper chased him and began punching him in the back of the head, at which point Russell pulled the gun and shot Cooper in the chest.
That victim fled in their own vehicle, had made a couple different stops along the highway before ultimately coming to rest near Southeast 15th and I-35. That's where contact was made with the victim. The victim was transported to an area hospital, sadly died because of those injuries.
In Oklahoma City, Paisley Porter, Oklahoma's News 4.
He died of lead poisoning.
All right, Paisley. Russell is in the Oklahoma County Jail this evening, facing first-degree murder charges.
See, folks, that's all over a bitch, basically. But, you know, it's actually his fault. Folks, don't be messing with other people's women. Don't mess with somebody else's woman. I'm telling you, that's going to get yourself in trouble. Hang tight for a minute. I'll be right back here. I got to take care of something. I got to find out what happened to my phone. As well as get my coffee. Where'd that buzzing come from? God damn it. Fuck! Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I want y'all to look at this here, folks. You see, you can go to Starbucks, and the coffee will still be never better than mine. You want to know why? For two reasons. High temperature brewing, which is not allowed at restaurants anymore, because they can only brew at a certain temperature. Y'all remember that Stella woman who sued for getting burned with coffee. You see, the great one is at home, and when you make coffee at a super high temperature, it brings out the flavor in it. All right, you just got to be careful not to burn yourself like a normal person. All right, you got to do that there. Not only that, I could put some good whiskey in there too. And there's good whiskey in there, folks. But in any event, get your questions in. If you wish to make a donation, you can smash the like button. Am I training anymore? I'm training even more, KCB. I'm training more than I was before. In fact, I just got finished training at home. And I hit Planet Fitness Monday, and I went to Anytime Fitness on Tuesday. So I'm doing the damn thing. Sean G's coffee will never be better than mine because I don't go to the only gas station I will actually go get coffee from is QT, because they got those machines where they freshly ground the beans. It's not sitting in some stale pot like a sucker. I wonder how much one of those things would cost anyway. just curious. Yeah, I'm not sure where you got, if you guys got QTs in your neck of the woods, but QT is awesome. QT is the best gas station since sliced bread. Number one, the vast majority of the bathrooms are kept quite clean. They got food that they prep, and the food is good. You know, they're using modern technology. They don't have cash registers. All you got to do is just you can purchase everything that you want from the screen. I don't need a Solo Flex. I've got a Total Trainer, which I'm actually going to exchange for barbells and stuff pretty soon. But yeah, QT has that particular coffee machine, folks. I mean, it is just it's crazy, because when you ask for a cup of, it's the same cost as any other gas station coffee, but it actually grinds the beans before it brews it. It brews one awesome cup. And you know what? If a coffee, basically, I'm going to tell you right now, folks, if I was going to run a coffee house, I would get those machines. It would just be, you can't fuck it up, basically. You just can't. Power blocks, that's old, man. I'm not using no power blocks. But let me show you guys something here. Y'all just gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand how things are. Now, you can go to Starbucks if you want, but if you got a QT gas station, oh my, I'm telling you. It's bad, folks. It is. Let me show you guys something. No, at this point in time, power blocks is old. You know, there are a number of other adjustable dumbbells that are available that are way better than power blocks. I'm not saying that they're not good or anything. I mean, weight is weight at the end of the day. But I'm telling you. Let me show y'all a demonstration of this shit. Y'all gonna like this. Here, watch this here, folks. This is QT right here.
This is like next level coffee over here.
Sean ain't got this here. I want y'all to look. You see this at top? Let me see if it...
I'm in the gas station.
See, it automatically grinds the beans for every cup of coffee, folks, right here. Y'all see that? What do you think? What do you think about that, Dale? What do you think?
In Oklahoma. And this is some... I've never seen this at a gas station before, ever. Like, not even close.
Y'all see that, folks? Look at that.
That's not even the best of it. Look at this. They have, like, an actual selection of cold creamers. They had a real half and half in here last time.
So that's I'm just showing you guys just the beauty of it there. And then you got the coffee bar, the coffee and latte bar. I want y'all to look at this here.
So check this out. QT's newest rollout. It's a coffee bar. Let's check out some of the stuff that they have. Vanilla latte, caramel, mocha, vanilla. Okay, repeating. Cold brew awesomeness, nitro, caramel, ice, mocha, vanilla ice latte, ice vanilla latte. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, folks, that's QT. And then you got your food too, folks. You got the food. You know, this thing has not been working pretty good. I'm going to tell you this right now. And it just came through. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm getting sick and tired of this little alert box. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to cut it again. I am so over this here sometimes. I mean, I swear. So let me go ahead and get another alert box. Because this thing is always glitching. Stop it. Alright, let's add a... Oh, damn, I can't even... Hang tight, folks. Ugh. Stupid. All right. I got you, Matt. I got you. Yeah, it came through, and then it did that little stupid hiccup again. So...
Greg 2-set video on powerlifting superstar Colton Engelbrecht, who just broke the raw total record in sleeves at only 275 pounds.
Woo! Matty Matt with a $3 donation. I definitely appreciate that.
Perhaps he's from Krypton. Perhaps it's genetic modification that we are not aware of.
Now, before we play the video, we got to do one thing. Got to get lit, folks. Got to get lit. Got to get lit. Oh, yeah. Hang tight. I almost forgot. Now that we've kept the stream open long enough, I can cut off the ads again. See, folks, I have to turn on the ads so that way my alerts go out. Unfortunately, thanks for reminding me, folks. Y'all gotta remind me to turn off the ads after 15 minutes here. Because there's only the reason why I have to turn them on is because otherwise I get shadow banned. So if I turn them on for a certain period of time, it makes the YouTube gods happy. That's why that one day I didn't get not one person on the stream whatsoever. Not even one. I'm going to play you in a minute there, Matt. I just got to light up first. All right, we're going to toast it. Yeah, give me that toast, baby. Always toast your cigars, folks. If you want the maximizing flavor, toast your cigar. Tell me, it's worth it. The problem is that everyone just lights up a cigar, but they don't really toast it. They're just stupid. Bad cigar. Man, I'm having one of those days. Alright, third time's a charm. Alright, there we go.
Alien DNA. Are you ready to witness history right now?
And come on, Colton, pull it. Come on, dude.
This is a brain rot special.
Tea mesh cooking in the basement.
Coach Greg, in today's video, the true strongest man in the world, posts the most amazing day of lifting that any of us have ever seen in our lives. I'm talking about since the history of man. And so you're probably thinking, you must be talking about Thor. He must have just reset the all-time world record in the deadlift. Or perhaps you're thinking it's Mitchell Hooper. Did he yet win again? Or maybe Andrei Smayov. Is he out doing one-arm chin-ups while weighing well over 300 pounds? Or is it somebody new? Is it a small person, 5 feet tall at 100 pounds and they're lifting like 50 times their body weight or something ridiculous like that? No, it isn't any of those things. It's literally a man by the name of Colton Engelbrecht who simply does not cease to amaze. People have been saying, predicting, if you will, that he would eventually be doing this, but he has now done it. A feat that perhaps, aside from him, will never be done again. And I'm talking about with performance-enhancing drugs. And no, he's not natural. And even if he was using Turk Builder Max, this wouldn't explain it. Now, I'm talking about the best genetics we've ever seen for powerlifting. And so we're going to go over his performance because I want you who haven't seen this guy to understand what we exactly are right now witnessing. Most people watching my channel, they're impressed by the Trend Twins. They're thinking, oh man, these guys are very, very strong, and that they are. But there's levels to this shit. And to the same extent, people who are perhaps right now watching the Tour de France, you're seeing Pogacar. He's breaking away. He's winning like no one has ever done. More impressive than even Lance Armstrong. And so he is the all-time GOAT. Colton, in his chosen sport, is more dominating than Pogacar. There is no one even close. And yes, he's on performance-enhancing drugs, but so is everybody else. And so he is so good, so dominating, that he's making everyone look natural. And so if everyone were competing natty and he was on performance-enhancing drugs, well, this kind of thing would make sense. That is how good he actually is. And so if you're asking me, is he stronger than Thor? He's way stronger than Thor. And he's over 150 pounds smaller. Bro doesn't even weigh 300. And so how is it even possible? Well, I do not know. Perhaps he's from Krypton. Perhaps it's genetic modification that we are not aware of. Alien DNA. Are you ready to witness history right now?
410 kilograms. By far the biggest opener today.
And so remember, he's lifting this raw. There's no bench press shirts. There's no special squat suiting device. He doesn't have a forklift helping him up. He doesn't have knee wraps doing the weight, elbow wraps. He's just, he himself lifting that weight. 420 kilograms. This is 926 pounds. This is his opener. Basically, this is what he does to get him psyched up, as it's kind of like his warm-up. It's 926 pounds. And of course, it's no problem. This is easy for him. He most likely could have got it for 3 reps. And that is the way to start your opening attempt in powerlifting. You don't want to go for the heaviest weight you've ever done, because if you do not get that weight, you cannot go down. And so he opens up with a very safe weight, one of which he knows he could confidently get for 3 reps.
Attempt number 2 will be 450 kilograms.
Next, up 30 kilograms.
Stream's lagging. Just turn the ads off. Hang tight. Hold on. I turned off the ads. Yeah, the ads are off.
66 pounds, we're 992 pounds. Like, we can just round that off to 1,000. He's doing this raw. He doesn't have a 100-pound gunt that's going to sink into his thighs. This is pure muscle lifting this weight. Unsuccessful lift. Now, to many people, this would get in their head and it would completely derail them from their competition. Also, he's using a very whippy bar. You perhaps are not used to this. When there's that much weight on their back, he's lifting it off. You can see the weights are bouncing. It throws you off. It's very difficult to get your form, your groove down, but it doesn't deter him. And so most certainly, the crown is concerned. You know, he really needed that lift. He had to set himself up. If he misses the 3rd, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But if he can only get 1 attempt at 420 kilograms, it's going to be very difficult to set that world record. And so does he come back in and replay that weight? No. He's so confident, he goes up 5 additional kilograms to put the bar above 1,000 pounds. Now, the fact that it's over 1,000, some people, it scares them. Oh, I don't want to do this. For Colton, it motivates him. Now that there's 1,000 pounds on the bar, he knows he has to work for it. He's missed his 2nd attempt, but he's coming back for more. If he can get this lift, almost certainly the world records are going to fall. But if he misses, well, that is a very difficult place to be. Just imagine having to spot this weight.
1,000 pounds.
Guys, it's 1,000 pounds. Anything can happen. He could tear a quad, a hamstring, a glute, lower back. So many problems can happen right now.
So come on, Colton. Hey, come on,
Working.
Okay.
And so there it is. He starts off the day squatting over 1,000 pounds in that weight class. And this isn't with the squat suit. Perhaps you don't understand. Squat suits, you can put them on. It can help you lift 200 extra pounds and knee wraps, all of these things, essentially making the lift easy. This was all done under his own power, 1,000+ pounds. Thor, Mitchell Hooper, none of these guys can lift this weight.
140 kilograms will be his opener.
Next up, it's time to bench. And so his opening warm-up attempt, it's 240 kilograms. And so in case you're not familiar with Coach Greg, this is literally my all-time world record for my age and weight group. And so at the 90 kilo class, this is the lift that I've done, weighing 198 pounds. I've done this twice in competition. And so he's warming up with the most weight I've ever lifted in my life, which kind of is to be expected.
No.
Wow. And so this lift was easy. And notice his hand width, it's not all that wide. Oftentimes, the best pressers in the world, they try to use a wide a grip as possible. They arch your back so that the bar is only moving a few inches. The bar was moving well over a foot. This was full range of motion and easy.
Okay, guys, we're at a 600-pound weight here, 272.5 kilograms.
Next up, 601 pounds. He's breaking the 600-pound barrier. That, combined with breaking 1,000 pounds in the squat, this is unheard of. Oftentimes, people are very good in the squat or very strong in the bench press. Not often are they strong at both. And so, frankly, this is his first lift. The first lift that he had done, it was his last warm-up. He knows that that is not anywhere near what he can be pressing. This is an extra 70+ pounds on the bar. full pause. Remember, he's not bouncing the weight off of his chest. If you've been following Instagram as of late, we see these youngsters, teenagers, lifting more weight than this, but they're bouncing it off of their chest and are using a slingshot device. This is essentially like putting knee wraps on or a spring, and so the bar is bouncing off the chest and going up. It's significantly easier to lift like that than to pause the weight on your chest.
I mean, I have to say I'm impressed for, you know, he's also, I've never maxed out over 400, but I mean, geez, that's crazy.
Now, for the younger lifters, this is what it looks like when you're not ego lifting in the gym. You slowly lower the weight, and you pause it, and you press that way up. By slowing it down and pausing, you're taking away the stretch reflex. If you do that, you have a significantly reduced risk of getting injured. Now, in people like Colton,
why is he showing this here? I mean, they are cute girls and everything, but damn.
as well as others who are using performance-enhancing drugs, you're even more likely to tear a pec, to get injured, because your muscles, they get much stronger than your tendons. And so you have to take your time to get to these 1-rep maxes. Don't rush it. We've seen that, for example, with the Trent twins, using too much weight and not pausing it. If you pause it and you take your time, the chances are you will not get injured. And so,
yeah, I mean, I don't know who's editing those videos.
Please be careful.
Colton coming out for attempt number 3 on the bench press.
I can't say I haven't pounded a golf chick, but they're kind of fun.
Yes, he was
a 5 kilo jump for him.
Yeah, a 5 kilogram jump.
And why not add on another 5 kilograms, 11 more pounds for 612? Frankly, he doesn't need this. It's only adding 5 kilograms to his total, but hey, why not? I'm here. I've already lifted plenty of weight, but I want to just add on even more.
Looks solid on the lift off, controlled on the way down. And driving it up, he's got the crowd behind him.
Frankly, he had a little bit more than that. That was a safe jump. If he had put on another 5 kilograms, I doubt it would have gone up. 2.5 would have gone on, but there's no reason to push yourself that hard. You're better off to make sure that you can get the lift, save a little for, in fact, the deadlifts.
Just below 1,000 pounds. Really huge opener.
And so, last but not least, it's the deadlift. He's opening with 450 kilograms. This is over 990 pounds. Notice, his feet aren't so wide that his toes are almost touching the weights. He's using a sumo lift, but you are, in fact, allowed. He's very strong at both sumo and conventional, but he can lift more sumo. This is more typical of people who are not very, very fat. Oftentimes, strongman competitors with bigger stomachs, they can put that stomach onto their legs and helps them lift the weight. And so sumo does, in fact, require more technique, and for some people, it's a little bit safer, and so I see nothing wrong with him pulling sumo versus conventional.
On attempt number 1. Look at that, eh?
A very easy lift. This was not an effort for him. He could have literally done this for multiple reps. Notice, he doesn't have the lifting straps. If you use lifting straps, you can lift way more weight. When I was lifting with straps, I could oftentimes pull 65 pounds more than I could with my hands. With straps, you can pull for all that you're worth. With the hands on the bar, you have to be concerned with your grip, and also you have to go down a little bit further. Lifting straps, you can stay more upright. It's easier, and you can use the double overhead grip. And so he locks this out with ease.
Colton going for 492.5 kilograms.
Next, this is a ridiculous jump. It's 492.5 kilograms. This is about 90 pounds more than the last lift, and so essentially it's like adding a plate on each side, and it's 1,086 pounds. This is almost as much as Thor lifted, and he's doing this without straps. Do you all realize how much more impressive it is to be able to lift this without straps? To have the grip strength to hold that much weight into your hands? And remember, he's doing this while weighing over 100 pounds lighter, weighing under 300 pounds, where most strong men of the world are closer to 400.
Come on, do it. Pull.
Look at that.
And he hangs on. The only question was whether or not he would be able to hold on to the weight long enough in order to lock that weight out.
Having already achieved a new world record, having already hit 492.5 kilograms, is now attempting 500 kilograms.
And so this is already a world record deadlift. It's already world records for everything. It's already the most incredible thing we've ever seen. And he's coming back for more. He wants to break the 500 kilogram barrier. In strongman, we've seen it. Eddie Hall did it first, followed by Thor, who upped the record. This man is over 100 pounds smaller than both of them, and he's doing so with no straps. It would be like squatting the world record with bare knees, with no knee straps, while being 100 pounds lighter than the guy that did it with straps. Another example, it would be like being natural and beating the guy with the world record on steroids while doing it natural. That is how ridiculous this actually is.
And come on, Colton, pull it. Come on, dude.
Trout, get behind him! Wasn't to be, guys.
And so not quite there to do 500 kilograms in competition, but he's done this in the gym with no problem, especially with lifting straps. It's a completely different beast to have to actually hold on to that weight. And so this is so incredible. It's beating all-time weight classes, no matter who you are. It's so much ahead of the second best person in the competition that you would think he's somehow hacked into something that other people aren't aware of. He set the world record in wraps at 1,200 kilograms. That record is still untouchable. He now beats it by 25 kilograms in sleeves. The guy's a lab experiment gone right. 490 kilogram deadlift without straps. It's mental. Long time since I
That is just crazy right there.
saw some flat back bench press. What a sight. Now, reminder, if you are using performance enhancing drugs, you should be getting your blood work done to see how unhealthy you actually are. That's right, how unhealthy, because people are using steroids, their blood work isn't healthy.
Fuck that site, folks. Fuck that site. Don't go to Argo X. Instead, go to Kente Wellness. That's right, folks. Go to Kente Wellness. We'll get your blood work done. We use licensed U.S. facilities, board-certified doctors. Let's see. And we have same-day appointments, folks. We got weight loss and stuff, and we got treatment there as well. Primary care, urgent care. If we ain't got it, you don't need it. My man, Vegan Gains, what cigars do you recommend? It really depends on whether you're starting out or not, cousin. If you're starting out with any cigars, I would recommend a Connecticut. But honestly, aging room cigars, in my opinion, are numero uno. But my cigar of choice is an aging room. So folks, let me show you an aging room cigar. But again, Matt, thanks again for the donation. Aging room cigars there, cousin. It's Puro. It's made from the Boutique Blends Laboratory. So these are specially formulated, in other words. Using the best small batch cigar brands. I mean, it's just the Cuadro, Nicaragua. This is the best right here. All right, it's the #1 cigar in 2019. I love these things, folks. I love them. It's all Nicaraguan tobacco there, cousin. I mean, it is the wrapper, the binder, the long filler. It's a Puro is what you want there. Everything is pure. Now, they can get a little pricey. They're $10 a cigar. So, but compared to other cigars, it's actually a pretty good price. So I would recommend, this is a cigar I would probably recommend if you wanted a really good cigar. But let's see what we got here. But thanks for stopping by, though. So So we got a couple other videos to play, and then we're going to get to the reaction videos on Kick.
So listen, you can sit here and you could say I suck Donald Trump's, but I think we all could know, everyone that is watching this that is neutral, who wears the Donald Trump knee pads 24/7, and it's the smug 21-year-old prick that I'm looking at right now. So have a nice day, bro.
You know, the big thing I would have to say, Brian, is your prompt is totally wrong. You should have went with something different. You should have said, why should Brian Shapiro get on his knees and suck Donald Trump's dick? Because of how much you're obsessed with this man. The fact is, he's not the worst president in America's history, and you know that for a fact. James Buchanan was the worst. The states, 7 of them seceding from the Union. Also, as a personal man, he was a raging alcoholic. He was a drunk while in office and before office, and yet you don't even want to address that once. You said that you didn't ignore any of his claims, yet you ignored all of them to go on tirades and all of these rants that just signal that you're a very unhinged person, that you don't have a cohesive argument that is factual and that provides any evidence. And in fact, with all of your arguments that you laid out, you're a hypocrite. Because in those first 2 arguments with the voter fraud and the economy, you said you wanted evidence, yet you gave no evidence about Donald Trump having the worst economy that you've ever seen because you ignored Joe Biden's economy. The 9% inflation, the unemployment rate, the recovery and bounce back jobs that Joe Biden inherited, right? 15 million of those jobs created weren't because of his own doing. So Brian, please explain to me your own prompt. Why is Donald Trump the worst president in history?
So I'm just going to go with a few things that you just said that are not factually accurate, and then I'll get to everything. I never said that it was the worst economy that we've ever seen. I don't know where you got that from. I never said it was a really bad economy.
Well, you said he's the worst president.
Hold on. Yeah,
so address that.
But okay, when you say,
let's address it.
When you say, okay, hold on. Let me respond to everything you said.
Let Brian finish his thought at least.
You claim that I said it was the worst economy we've ever seen. I never made that statement. I said he's the worst president we've ever seen, and I have a lot of reasons for that. So that's number one. Didn't say that. Very strange that you're talking about me performing a sex act on Donald Trump. That would be the opposite. It's actually quite the contrary of that.
You talk about him a lot.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, dude, I didn't interrupt you. The reason why I talk about him a lot is the same reason why Fox News talks about him a lot. It's the same reason why Newsmax talks about him a lot. It's the same reason why, oh yeah, no, it's okay. I'll give you a pass because you don't have a job in media. You never have. So
I actually own a media company.
Okay. Well, you're doing it. Then you clearly, you're not going to be very successful because you don't understand how the media works. Okay, so hold on. No, not really. Because I've debated you before. So Fox News talks about Donald Trump every day. Right-wing entities talk about Trump every day. So are they unhinged as well? It is my job as a member of the media, and hold on, as a show that rhetorical question, as a show that I do every single day, is I talk about the news of the day. Sometimes it's the news of the hour. If Donald Trump holds a press conference, I'm going to cover it, and I'm a political commentator, and I'm going to talk about it. That doesn't mean that I'm unhinged. It means that I am a person who does a news talk show, and I'm a political commentator. And the reason why people invite me to these shows that I do, these national shows, is because that's what I do for a living. I'm a political commentator. So to make the reference of I suck Trump's dick is a very unserious thing to say to start your argument. No, hold on, let me just finish. The fact that you were sitting here for 3 hours and you had all this time in your opening remarks to bring up something serious and to try to make me look bad, and the first thing that you could think about in the 3 hours that you were sitting here and the drive up here and the time that you knew that you were going to be debating me is to say, quote, Brian sucks Donald Trump's dick, proves to me that you are not a very serious person and you're not here to be serious. If you would like to have a serious conversation with me, I'm happy to talk to you about ICE. I'm happy to talk to you about the economy. I'm happy to talk to you about the corruption and the sexual abuse and the Epstein files and all the things collectively that I bring together in why, my opinion, he's the worst president in American history. But if you're going to start off a conversation talking about me sucking a dick, then I'm not going to take you seriously. So I'll let you start over again.
You're wearing a checkered shirt right now.
He's not a serious person. You're going to talk about
wearing a checkered shirt.
Okay, I'm done with this guy. I'm done. Have a nice.
Folks, if I was going to run for president, I would bring back public hangings. All right? Public hangings save money on the electric chair. There's too much money. There's too much cost in electric chairs. You got to pay for the electricity. You got to pay for the maintenance and all these other people. Lethal injection costs a whole lot of money. Got to get the drugs. Public hanging, all you need is a rope and a sturdy tree. And it's eco-friendly. And we can even use vegan ropes to, take care of things. But yes, if I was running for president, I would bring back public hangings. All right? It worked for niggers and cowboys, and it'll work for this economy, too.
Nice day, bro. I'm done. I'm done.
Hold on, stop. Maybe I could. To be fair, Brian, you tell people that they are Trump mushroom gobblers.
Yeah, but he's talking about. So first of all, I haven't said that to you. I match people's energy.
You have before.
Okay. Well, probably because you went.
Well, you're in Canada, cousin. Machine guns are already legal in the U.S. You just got to know the cheat code for that, my friend.
Assaulted me before, and you did the same thing.
No, actually, he had the opening statement at the last debate, and
Ryan, if I was going to debate Brian, I would get destroyed simply because I don't spend as much time on politics as he does. He eats, sleeps, and dreams about politics, and I just simply don't.
And he insulted me first.
Yeah, okay. So we can go back to that.
And they can fact check.
But I haven't insulted you here. I haven't talked about your physical appearance. I haven't made any sexual comments or
I
jokes.
had the opening statement, of course.
I know, but you had hours to come up with an opening statement.
And all I've heard you do is flop Donald Trump.
The best you come up with is that I stuck Donald Trump's dick.
That's enough.
That's the best you come up with.
That's enough. We're out in the meta, and I don't want to be there right now.
Neither do I.
Let's get back to the actual prompt. Trump is the worst president of all time. And now Carson did give you some stuff to work with. Let's maneuver.
By the way, people in the comments are saying they like my shirt, so you know. But anyway, so there's a lot of things collectively that I talk about every single day. And it's not because I'm unhinged. I think the person that is unhinged is the guy who you voted for.
Cousin, you could simply take any type of rifle here in the U.S., and we sell the parts in order to convert them over into machine guns. I mean, like I said, you got to know the cheat code. And no one would know the difference.
I could start with immigration. I could start with the fact, as I mentioned this before, that he is literally breaking the law and what is in our Constitution right now when he deports people that are seeking asylum, that are going about it the right way. ICE is a rogue organization. There are innocent people that are being murdered in the streets. He's calling off the investigations, and so is Kash Patel, whether we're talking about Renee Good or Alex Pre.
And yes, cousin, you are getting fucking huge as hell. You are getting beyond yoked at this point in time. I mean, if you're going to lean down and do a bodybuilding show and even your calves are getting bigger, man. Your calves are getting a whole lot bigger now. They're actually growing. So if you do compete next year, I wish you all the best, dear.
Preddy, or the Mexican national in Houston, or the 26-year-old in Maine. The problem is, and the reason why we're having these situations take place, is because there's no accountability. I don't think that every ICE agent is bad.
How is he the worst president, Brian? That happened under Obama with expedited, not having due process with illegal immigrants.
I'm giving you the steps. I started with ICE.
We don't need to take all day, Brian. It should be such an easy thing.
I think with somebody like you, I need to take all day. So I started with ICE. I started with ripping up parts of our Constitution, which
that is not unique to one president.
Okay.
What is unique is calling him the worst president, right?
It's not unique.
There's been abuses with ICE in the past.
It's not unique. Can you name me a president in our lifetime where these things have happened?
You just did.
Yeah, Biden and Obama.
What did Obama do?
Expedited due process. He's the one that started it.
What did Obama do? Were innocent people were murdered?
Kids in cages. Do you support that policy?
Kids in cages. Okay,
do you
so
support that policy?
what I just brought up.
Let me know. No, answer.
You better be real careful on trend there, cousin. It's very harsh. You know, I took trend back in the '90s, but it's very harsh on the liver and stuff.
I'm responding. I'm responding to what you.
That's if you're not too careful.
said. But before I do that, you didn't respond to what I said.
Yes or no?
You talked about Obama and kids in cages. First of all, when you make that statement,
don't have to address
when you make that,
it's true.
I'm responding.
True.
I'm responding.
Yes or no?
I'm responding
yes
to
no?
it. There were kids that were put.
Yes or no answer.
I think for purposes of moving on, Biden and I'm sorry, you said Biden and Obama, correct? Yeah. I think the question, so that we can move forward with it, did they or did they not have issues with ICE, and was that something that was?
There weren't innocent people that were murdered on the streets under Joe Biden and Barack Obama. We didn't have ICE agents that only need 47 days of training. When you're talking about kids in cages, there is a nuance to what you are talking about. Yes, there were times and there were hours where kids were put and incarcerated until they could
that's
find.
Okay, then.
And they weren't.
The method of putting kids in cages is
okay. So
only for a few hours.
So first of all, they were incarcerated. And while I don't agree with the methods that were, hold on, I'm trying to finish my statement. You're about to interrupt me. Your mouth is trembling. I don't know. It's very strange. While I don't agree with some of the methods that Obama used with incarcerating kids, I would say it doesn't rise to the level of. Hold on, let me finish. Renee Good's child. You want to interrupt me? Renee Kid's daughter is growing up without a fucking mother. Okay, Alex Preddy's family.
Renee Good should have just not driven that car. You know, like I said. You know, all it takes is a height of a moment thought of where your emotions overcome your common sense that can lead you to the grave.
Had to bury him. Hold on. There's a 26-year-old in Maine that was murdered, and the 3-year-old daughter in the back seat had to watch that. And there's nothing that officer should not have been there.
This is why you're unhinged. You call the orange man the president bad, yet you're orange right now because you're so unhinged, because you're saying Renee Good isn't there.
I'm passionate about innocent people that were murdered.
No, her parents said that she shouldn't go when she consulted them.
That doesn't mean she deserved to be murdered.
Ashley Babbitt on our last debate.
What about Ashley Babbitt?
She said
she did it to herself. It's very sad. She did it to herself. So hold on. Let's go back to Renee Good's parents. Let's go back to Renee Good's parents. And what you just misquoted, what her parents said.
Hold on. We're in very pinpointed degrees of the reasons. right? So we can sit here and talk about, well, this person, this thing, this one time, but they are very pinpointed degrees of the conversation. So we could waste our time there, or we can go back to the bigger picture of prior.
I mean, as far as my cousin's concerned, the best thing he did is he dropped that lump of shit called Jasmine. Nothing personal, but she drove you to the fucking ground there. And I should have recognized it, and I didn't, and I apologize. Especially at the time when you were gaming and she started nagging on you. I didn't even realize just exactly what she was doing. But once you dropped her, it looks like you've actually enhanced your life there. Your money was no longer flowing out of your pocket paying for Jasmine's stupid shit, basically.
Where we left off was, I believe, Biden and Obama.
Yeah. And I know you don't want to talk about Jasmine on your live stream, but don't forget this is my live stream, so I can say that.
Did have bad ICE issues, right, or immigration issues of some degree, and then we also have the idea that Trump is having ICE issues, and so now it's a matter of to what degree. Now, I think if we're pinpointing it down to, well, there was Renee and there was this, and that's very, very small tokens to a conversation. I think
it's the bigger picture of why some people make references to Nazi Germany.
In fact, I don't even know if she's still in Canada or if she moved back to Norway or wherever she actually came from, but she was just not on the same journey that you were, man. All right, you wanted to be a body. Just imagine where you're at right now compared to where she's at. They just don't mix there, basically. If Jasmine went and started exercising, got into fitness form shape, that's one thing, but she was going to turn out to be. I mean, if you stayed with her for another 5 years, she would have been 400 pounds wearing a muumuu, making you drive up in a station wagon, shopping for groceries from a price club, literally.
When you look at Bovino, who was told to retire, when you look at
and it would have been a sleeveless muumuu on top of that.
Who used to lead DHS, who he fired. And just quickly, because I think this is really important, if we are going to talk about Renee Good real quickly, because it's a microcosm. I know you want to make jokes. It's a microcosm of what's going on in this country right now. Now, if I was Renee Good, I would have probably gotten out of the car. I wouldn't be parked in the middle of the road. But tens of thousands of people every week do not comply with law enforcement. Tens of thousands of people sometimes flee law enforcement. Well, I wouldn't condone that. That doesn't give a police officer the right to kill somebody. Renee Good's...
Tens of thousands of people run out in the middle of traffic, especially in India. Not all of them get hit. But guess what? Sometimes you win the lottery.
Parents have said they didn't want her there, but they've also said they believe she was murdered. She's somebody who has never committed a crime in her life. Okay? There are officers. Jonathan Ross is a millionaire now.
Ryan, out of respect to our moderator, can we please broaden this back out?
Sure, but I just don't appreciate you mischaracterizing.
No, I'm not
Renee Good's parents.
mischaracterizing
No,
anything. It's not nothing.
Thank you, Carson. Actually, where I was trying to get was if you have bigger data packs.
Absolutely.
Of
the war in
information.
Iran. So we were told when Donald Trump first was getting into office and when he campaigned that he would be a peace president and he wouldn't start any wars. Obviously, that wasn't true. Now, if Iran had invaded Israel the way that Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, then that would be a different story. But that didn't happen. We were told, and I believe we were lied to, and I believe Donald Trump is played a puppet from Benjamin Netanyahu. This war has cost us and will cost us, could be trillions, hundreds of billions of dollars. It's killing our economy. You look at gas prices, you look at inflation, you look at our brave men and women in uniform coming home in caskets. Most in MAGA are fighting over this. Obviously, everybody on the left is against the war. Half of MAGA are saying this isn't what I voted for. That's not America first.
Most younger people like myself are against the war, and I think that's a moot point, Brian, because...
It's not a moot point.
Yeah, it absolutely
Big part of why I think he's the worst president in American history.
Because of your own prompt. That doesn't make him the worst president in American history.
It's a part of why he's the worst president. Okay, well, that's your opinion.
You know why? Because it's not strong enough. That's not even close to strong enough of an argument. $87 billion in a war, and what is it now, 20-something lives, is not the reason why he's the worst president in American history.
It's not the only reason why I think he's the worst president. It's one of many issues.
You're saying it's the main reason.
I'm saying it's one of the main reasons.
It has to be a stronger reason.
Well, I think it's
Give me your strongest reason,
hold on.
Brian,
Let me just go back. Let me go back to Iran real quickly. I think it's a big reason when you have a president that gets us into an ill-advised war pushed on by Israel. I think it's one of the biggest. I think there's a lot of big reasons. I think that's one of the biggest reasons.
Last time I talked to you, you said that Netanyahu wasn't pulling the strings over Trump. You said that was almost an anti-Semitic.
When did I say that? I never said that. You're a liar. Never said that. You're a liar. You want to make a $1,000 bet right now?
I don't have
$1,000 bet right now. I never said that.
I don't have $1,000
because you're a fucking liar, and I don't appreciate. Okay, here's what I don't like. I don't appreciate.
You know where I got this from?
I don't give a fuck where you got it from.
I got it from Goodwill.
What I don't appreciate is this stupid hat that he has on in this shirt. I mean, you look at the other guy. I mean, he sounds like one of those typical, but at least he's dressed nice.
Bet you did.
I'm glad you have a nice car you can drive down the strip.
What does this have to do with anything? You're not a serious person.
All right, we're getting back into the meta again.
This is important because he misquoted me, and this is about the war in Iran.
I didn't misquote
you. Yes, you did, and
well,
I'll make a bet
with
you
right
now.
Do.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Hold on.
You're lying.
Stop.
You're lying.
Here's your solution. After you guys get out of here today, you can both go back to that video because I believe it's up, right, Sean? I believe their last debate's up. You both can go and find that very clippable moment, and you can send it to each other and say, "Fuck you, haha, got you." Okay, but in the meantime,
let me give my opinion.
In the meantime, you're wasting my time and everybody else's.
Yes. Let me give my opinion on the war, which I've been very consistent with over the course of the last 6 months. When it comes, I'm not. I'm done with your
statement. The question answered.
I'm responding to the war, which I think is a big part of why I think Donald Trump is one of the worst presidents, if not the worst in American history.
Don't dodge, Brian.
Cousin, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been in the military, and I'm going to just, I'm going to stop this right here. Cousin, I've been in the military before. I served this country. Obviously, you guys know where I've been here, okay? You know where I've been as far as things are concerned. I've done a lot of things. As far as things are concerned, I don't have... I mean, the thing about it is I've served the military. Been an officer, as you could tell from that handsome picture right there that was finally restored. And once you've been in the military and they show you the videos and everything, you sort of lose your bloodlust for war because, I mean, you just realize that, you know, when it comes to just pushing the button, I just don't have that bloodlust to do something like that. I agree the matter needs to be finished, but it needs to be finished equitably. You know, there are better solutions.
You're dodging.
Why he's saying you're dodging is because he asked you, he said, I want to know what your biggest issue is with Trump that makes him the worst president.
I would put it up there. I would put up there his conduct along with the war in Iran. I would put up the relationships or lack thereof that we have with other countries. I would talk about kissing the ass.
Clavicula's trailer for his upcoming college tour looks pretty goofy.
Matty Matt with a $3 donation. So we'll put this to the side and we'll play this out here. So give me just a minute. We'll see what we got here. Man, I'll tell you, Streamlabs is running like crap today. All right, let's see what we got here.
My whole life it was obvious. I was gonna end up famous. When I was a kid, my mother's best friend used to tell me I was gonna be a little heartbreaker. Her husband came home from work one day. Sorry, Bill. When I first came out here, I had a dream. I was gonna get rich from lying around and having my picture taken. Fuck any girl I wanted. And guess what? Most of it came true. I'm only 20 years old. So maybe I should live my age for a little bit. Should try out college for a little bit. I'll see you soon.
It's Liberace gay. It almost reminds me of one of those 90s ads for CK1. But again, Matty Matt, thanks again for the donation there. I definitely appreciate it. So when do you think Clavicular will be found dead in Thailand? He's not going to die in Thailand. If he's going to die, it's going to be in Miami. And he needs to be careful of the people that he's hanging around, too, on top of that.
So Vladimir
He's hanging out with some bad dudes there.
Putin inviting him on American soil, writing love letters, writing love. I wasn't done yet. Writing love letters. I wasn't done yet.
You wanted everything.
Writing love letters to Kim Jong Un, inviting Vladimir Putin on American soil. No sanctions. Russia has given up no sanctions. Iran, if we're going back to the war, gives up no sanctions. I would also talk about his personal conduct. And yes, I do think January 6th and lying about the election and saying the election was stolen and attacks on our democracy are also a big part of this. I could go down the list of his personal conduct and the way he's treated women in his life. I don't want someone talking like that, or actually threatening the life of 6 elected Democrats, because all those 6, including Mr. Kelly, all the Democrats simply said was, don't abide by unlawful orders, which is, by the way, it's not illegal to make that claim at all. And Donald Trump alluded to the fact that they should be executed. 6 elected officials. We've never had a president in modern day history talk like that about people that he disagrees with, saying that they should be killed because you shouldn't have.
Yeah, those Israelis that he's hanging around with, Ryan, Clavicular, those are some really bad dudes.
Abide by lawful orders? Are you...
Even I'm scared to mess with those people.
Kidding me?
I stand by my claim at the beginning. All you do is obsess about Donald Trump, okay?
That's a great retort. Great debate. Great argument there.
And here's what I will say, Brian, about this, is James Buchanan led to 7 states seceding from the Union, caused a whole bunch of violence in our country.
Who gives a shit about James Buchanan? What was that, over 100 years ago? I mean, literally, we're talking about 175 years ago. Who cares? Why is there a conversation about James fucking Buchanan?
And caused over, 1.5 million Americans to die throughout the Civil War. Yet you have the nerve, you have the gall to not take into effect of human life, whether it's in the 1800s or now, and say that Donald Trump, of all people, a businessman...
That's not exactly true, Matt. What women want is just money. All right, much like everybody else. Everybody wants money. They want wealth. They want fame, and they want power. That is just That's the human instinct behavior. There's never enough money to make.
And from New York, who gave housing to many different people, who gave employment to many different people, is the worst president in American history.
Let's talk about lives. Let's talk about American...
Actually, this is pretty minty.
American lives.
You know,
I think we know who the real ignorant is here. If you want to do ad hominem attacks again, I'm happy to do that with you. But let's talk about American lives real quickly. Let's talk about human life.
With my claim, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm waiting.
I was doing the Obama pause. You know, when you say something smart, you do the pause, so I let it seep into you. And so here's what I will say about the James Buchanan argument, is he was personally fraudulent as a person as well. He was a raging alcoholic in the White House. He probably was committing the crimes that were happening even to the likes of Epstein Island. But how would we know, right? How would we even have a clue that any of those crimes were being committed? So the fact that you could say that Donald Trump is the worst president in American history is lacking fact. It's lacking any sort of intelligence. And you're just lacking some type of degradation in your own soul, because I feel like there are some own misfortunes that you see through Donald Trump. And that's why you resonate so heavy with him and talk about him all the time, Brian.
Yeah, I talk about him all the time.
And you like gambling, right? The Taj Mahal, you should have gambled there.
By the way, that filed for bankruptcy, you dumb shit. So let's...
You're old enough, you could have...
let me... My turn now. Filed for bankruptcy. So you can attack my age and my appearance, and one of the first statements out of your mouth was, I suck Donald Trump's dick. You're a very serious person. But
I
now,
said that's what...
I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. Now it's my turn, dude.
Did, but hold on.
Pretend Donald Trump's dick is in your mouth and shut up for a second, okay? Talked about American lives. I remember during the global pandemic, when we were losing 3,000 to 5,000 people a day, I remember when Donald Trump decided to go on a little campaign tour, if we want to talk about American lives and his lack of caring about American citizens. He made people sign waivers, and in that waiver basically saying in legal terms that if you get sick or die, you can't sue us. So if you want to talk about American lives, he took his COVID press conferences, which was supposed to be serious and talking about COVID, and in many of those press conferences that are available on social media, he turned them into campaign rallies and he made it about himself. He also downplayed the seriousness of the virus. And no matter whether you agree with me or not on how well Donald Trump did in dealing with the virus, the fact of the matter is that millions of people died. And I do think a part of that was his rhetoric. I think when he was left a playbook, for lack of a better term, from Barack Obama on how to deal with the global pandemic, they openly admitted that they threw it away. They didn't use it. And I thought his handling of the pandemic was as worse as you could have done per capita. When we're talking about lives that were lost, we were one of the worst in the country. I would also talk about gun control. I would talk about... I'm talking about American lives, so I'm trying to stick to what you said.
Yeah, you said it's the worst in the country. You mean worst in the world, right?
Per capita. Okay. I talk about gun control. after the Sandy Hook shooting, Barack Obama tried to do everything he could to try to pass some gun legislation, tried to do anything and everything he could. Right down the street, as you know, we had one of the worst mass shootings, I think it was the worst in American history, where I think over 60 people were killed. The next day, Donald Trump talked about gun control. And I'm like, wow, maybe something is going to happen here. And he talked about bump stocks, which is a very small part of this. And then several days after that, since the topic is American lives, he met with, at the time, was the NRA president. And he completely switched. For 2 days or 3 days, he was talking about gun control.
He's mischaracterizing the topic. It's not American lives.
No.
It's about the American lives.
I'm not. Hold on. Let me just finish. Let me just finish. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because we have some of the worst gun violence in American history. A lot of innocent people lose their lives every day, hence American lives. The reason why I'm talking about ICE.
Yes,
hold on, let me
travesty.
finish.
We should give
I'm trying
guards
to explain to you why Donald Trump doesn't have empathy. I'll give you another about American lives. I'm talking about innocent lives. I can talk about Lindsey Graham or Charlie Kirk. A day after Charlie Kirk was murdered, Donald Trump was asked, "How are you holding up? Are you doing okay, Mr. President?" He said, "I'm fine." And then he started talking about the ballroom. Okay. Lindsey Graham, he fell asleep. It's going to the point where he doesn't care about American lives.
Hold on.
You're not a serious person.
Stop. You're all about to see how fucking serious I am. Shut up. I need metrics. What you're appealing to right now are like emotional pieces.
Hey, cousin, you may have gun violence, but it's not. Your gun violence in Canada is nothing compared to here in the U.S. I mean, people use guns to open bottles of Coca-Cola, literally.
Or like these one-offs, these one things, right? These little things that happen. And I think what he's provided, he gave you a number. He said 1.5 million. I think it was something like that, right? And that's a metric. He's looking for a metric, and that's
not a one-off. We have some of the worst gun violence and more people dying than any other country in the world. That's not a one-off.
Number of how many people Donald Trump has killed throughout all of human history. We've been able to do that with every leader. Do it with me right now.
How many people he's killed?
You won't.
You want to talk about COVID? You want to talk about?
Stop buying time, Brian. Answer.
I'm not buying time. I'm answering your question. I believe Donald Trump is responsible based on the way he responded to COVID. I believe at least 1 million people, at least 1 million lives would have been saved if it was taken more seriously, if he actually talked more about the vaccine, if he talked in his press conferences and actually spoke about it. It's the reason why so many idiots on the right think that the COVID it wasn't even a real virus, or that the vaccines were killing all these people. That isn't direct because of Donald Trump. Millions of people have died because of Donald Trump's rhetoric. I also believe Charlie Kirk would still be alive today if not for Donald Trump's rhetoric. I believe Ashley Babbitt would be alive today. Oh, no, it's not a low blow. It's not a low blow. No, it's not a low blow.
Get on your knees for Donald Trump.
All right, we're not getting anywhere. All right, let's move in. Carson, if you can kick us off with your final thoughts, please. You guys both did great, but we...
Vegan gang. Switzerland has guns, but most of them are like old 1911 guns. I mean, you're talking about a technology difference. Not only that, in places like Switzerland, they're actually, a lot of them are, they're not the guns that we actually have. That's why, not only that, I mean, Switzerland doesn't have, the biggest thing that we don't have that, other countries have is programs for mental health there. Mental health is treated no different than health insurance here. It's no. And when people don't get mental health, watch out.
We need to get out of that.
Thank God.
Carson, to you, please.
Absolutely.
Gonna say I suck his dick again? That was brilliant.
All right. Go ahead, Carson.
Absolutely. What I would say is, Brian, you didn't even address my point of 1.5 million people dying under the Civil War, which is a disgrace. You don't value human life, and that's purely what it is. Evident. And the big thing that you will ignore is all of the personal ramifications of Donald Trump. You will say that affects the ability of the country to run, yet you don't bring up any policy metrics that have been impacted by his personal life. Not one. You look at these two different viewpoints.
The difference there, cousin, is Switzerland has free health insurance, as well as most of these other European countries. That means the people are getting the help that they actually need. That's non-existent in this country.
Points and view them as something together, yet 81 million people voted this person in power to be the leader of the free world, to be a strong leader for this nation, not because of his personal reservations, because that's with every president, but you try to link them, you try to interlink them, and that's why you're such a bad debater, in fact, is because you don't know the difference between empirical evidence and emotional evidence. And clearly your emotions get the best of you. You turn orange like the big bad orange man in Washington.
Well, emotions got the best of Renee Good, and that's what happened there. So,
and sitting in the Oval right now, and that probably makes you stay up at night. And I'm sorry for that, Brian. But here's what I will say, is that you need to get better at debating on empirical facts. You need to stop writing so many notes, because the fact that I could walk up here and list 5 numbers off the top of my head and it tears apart your whole argument as a 21-year-old who's broke as hell and just got out of college just shows that I'm doing pretty well for myself, and at least I would hope you have the respect to admit that.
No, I don't. I think you're an extremely unintelligent and unserious person. You called me a bad debater. You've gone to personal insults. And one of the first things you said as you got here, as you traveled here, because I assume you don't live here in Vegas, you had days and hours to come up with an opening statement. And one of the first things out of your mouth was, I sucked Donald Trump's dick. So if there's anybody that is, shut the fuck up and let me finish now, because now it's my turn, okay, dude? Shut the fuck up. You think I'm joking? I'm not. Shut the fuck up. This is my turn to talk now, okay, asshole? You smug little bitch. It's my turn to talk. You said I don't care about human life? How dare you? How dare you? I don't.
You know, if he said that to me, I'd get up off at the table and I would knock him out.
I don't care about people on the right or people on the left, where they come from. I don't want people to suffer. I want people to have the ability to have health care so that they don't die and that they don't get sick. In the big and beautiful bill, up to 20 million Americans have lost their health care. Okay, I care about those people. I don't characterize them as on the left or the right. I care about people that are getting gunned down in the streets. I care about people like Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Renee Good's last words, I'm not mad at you, bro. Alex Preddy's last words, are you okay, ma'am? I care about a 26-year-old who's 3 years.
It doesn't matter what his last words is, it's what his last actions are. You know, like I said before, don't let your emotions overcome your common sense. That's what happened to Renee Good, Alex Peretti, and most other people in this world there, basically. They just didn't think before they reacted there. You know, one offhand comment can, you know, and stuff. That's why I live out here in Piedmont where it's peace and quiet there. You know, I got away from the big city.
Year-old is in the back seat who's going to have to grow up now without a father. I care that it's a rogue agency, that there are people all over the country, okay, that are getting murdered. I care about the fact that we are in an ill-advised war in Iran, where innocent children in Iran are dying. Thousands of innocent people in Iran are dying. People in Israel are dying. Our soldiers are dying. I care about everybody, not just if you're on the right or you're on the left. So for you to say I don't care about human life makes you a moron. Now, going to some of the policies that I've talked about time and time again, whether it be the war in Iran or the biggest tax breaks for the top 1%, I'm not a very religious person, but I'm pretty sure Jesus would say, you want to help people that are struggling. You want to help people that are poor. The people that are most vulnerable in our society, who I care about deeply, are the ones that are suffering the most from Donald Trump's policies. So listen, you can sit here and you can say I suck Donald Trump's dick, but I think we all could know, everyone that is watching this that is neutral, who wears the Donald Trump knee pads 24/7, and it's the smug 21-year-old prick that I'm looking at right now. So have a nice day, bro.
Wow, very angry individual there. Very angry. Yeah, folks. Well, former Officer Goodrum has to say, drugs are bad, okay? Guns are bad, okay? Not having mental health programs, not okay. Anyway, I got one more video, and folks, we're going to go to the Kick stream afterwards for reaction videos. I think that was kind of funny.
Got the ketchup and mustard up. Check them out, Sean. Get that. Let them hear that. 1972. 1972 coffee pot. With real fire. Look at my fire. Show them the fire. Look at that. Bang. The real fire. Boom. Real fire. Get it under the pot. See what I'm saying? Your shit, you got an electric stove. If the computer
fucking nigger
go out in your stove or virus get in there, your shit, you can't cook nothing. Look at that steam right there. Hold on, I gotta put the Cafe Bustelo in there. Cafe Bustelo. So I come in, I just get a little.
You may use the same coffee that I use, but you don't brew it the same way I do.
That much right there. That much right there. I may put a little. Let's put a little more. I got my milk in there already. You know, y'all know I put my milk. I heat my milk up in the jug. This is a relish jug. So I put a little heat on that. Put a little heat on that joint. Pour that in there. And stop saying it look like I'm cooking crack up in here, man. Yo, that remind me of the 90s. Crazy smoke. Crazy smoke.
That's not smoke, that's steam.
The hell kind of coffee? You got a modern, up-to-date coffee with the K-cup. You understand? You talk to it like Siri, Alexa, make me a cup of coffee. And then the shit break, and then you can't get no coffee. That ain't gonna, 1972 ain't gonna never break. It ain't gonna never break. Then you gotta, that Jamie Relic there. Got my name on my cup. You ain't got your name on your cup. This is the best. Let me check it out. Let's put a little honey dip. I gotta go to the store. I gotta go to the store and get some more honey. I don't put no white sugar in my coffee no more. No brown sugar, no turbinado, no raw, none of that. Just honey. Sometimes.
Come on, group. Let's donate to Vince to get a hair system to replicate the Officer Goodrum look.
Quick Pump with the $5 donation. Definitely appreciate it. It was nice having hair, but I like the way I am, you know, and stuff. I want to grow old peacefully. I don't really want to do much to myself in order to try to recapture things. I would have to either get a hair transplant or I'll have to take minoxidil. I look good bald anyway, you know. But again, Quick Pump, thanks again for the donation.
Sometimes I drink it raw with no honey in it at all either. It don't taste good, but it's good for me. Sean G. Ow! The best, man. Shout out to Cafe Bustelo. It don't never stop, man.
Yes, it does, and I just stopped it. All right, folks, y'all know what time it is. You guys know what time it is. It's time for reaction videos. Gonna head over to Kick, and we gonna kick it. All right, folks. The Kick stream is live. I'll be over there in just a second. Y'all head over the Kick. Ryan, put that address in there. We're going here, folks. Go to the Kick stream. Y'all be there. So I'll be right back. I will see you in Kick. All right? We'll see you there.